non-Bitcoin digital assets will be held in a new U.S. digital asset stockpile where they will be managed properly. My administration also is working to end the federal bureaucracy's war on crypto, which was really going on pretty wildly during Biden until the election came about. And regulators strong-armed banks. I mean, they really did. They strong-armed banks into closing the accounts of crypto businesses and entrepreneurs, effectively blocking some money transfers to and from exchanges, and they weaponize government against the entire industry. But I know that feeling also. Maybe better than you do.
Remember, because they tried to put it,
be over, and we are ending Operation Choke Point 2.0.
Today, the White House had their very first crypto summit, and you heard in that intro, President Trump said something really interesting that I'm not sure if everyone picked up on. We're going to dig into it. And it might show that announcement that the U.S. would hold altcoins like XRP, Cardano, Solana. You know, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, maybe that didn't mean anything because they're not going to be buying these things. Hold on a second. I think clearly what he said shows they will, and with intention. This could be big. We're going to get into it. But before we do, recognize this. Where did we come from? Where were we just 6 months ago? Because things move fast, and you have to really take in the whole picture. We went from an environment where everyone was being debanked, sued by the SEC. They tried to literally run people out of business. Told people, you know what? You're going to end your crypto business, and you have to sign this NDA. And if you don't, and if you want to discuss these things, we're going to throw you in jail. That's what the U.S. government was doing. And now we're having crypto summits. This is wild. You have to appreciate that. Regulations are knocking on the doorstep here. We will have clear regulations in this country. This is an entirely different world, and you have to pull a lot of the risk off of these assets, specifically with altcoins, and I think their value are going to have to come up in a big way here shortly. We have to recognize that. Now, remember that first announcement that the U.S. government would have altcoins, and they named off a couple of them: Solana, XRP, Cardano, and of course Ethereum. And now it was like, well, we're not going to buy coins on the open market. We're just going to get what we seize, and we're going to have this Bitcoin reserve, and we're also going to have this strategic, stockpile for digital assets that will hold the altcoins. And so people are getting upset about this. They're thinking it was a switcheroo. But if you notice what President Trump said, that strategic digital asset reserve, it would be managed properly. Part of management is looking at the assets you hold and deciding what the weights should be in this portfolio, this holding. And so while they may not take taxpayer dollars and go out and buy XRP, buy Ethereum, I suspect, they hold a lot of different coins that they get in these seizures. They may look at that portfolio and say, you know what, these meme coins, they have value. And long term, that's probably not where they should be. And roll them into XRP, roll them into more Ethereum, and they will trade off assets that might have short-term value right now for better long-term investments. So I think there was something to that. They didn't just make up these random coins. Yes, they are the top altcoins out there, of course, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and Cardano. But that's, I think, going to be their thinking. If they seize different cryptocurrencies, in some criminal investigation, or there's some civil forfeiture, the government's holding on to this, someone's going to be managing that account. And I think they're going to rebalance things. They're going to sell off certain assets and move the money into more preferable assets, one that have long-term potential. And so therefore, if you have the right assets, the government may in effect be buying your assets, sending your prices up, even though they're not going to use taxpayer dollar. They're going to be trading other cryptocurrencies that may not have a lot of potential for the long term, trading it into those ones that have a better prospect of growth and value for the country over time. And I think that's what he's indicating there. Again, any sort of management of an account is going to have these types of functions. And I think that is why they stated, these are the altcoins, at least at first, and they'll expand from there, that we're looking to focus on. We have what we have through seizures, but I think you will see them selling and swapping assets for the ones that they deem to be more valuable for the long term. This could be huge for us in a big way. Let's take a look right now. The market down a little bit. Of course, everyone wanted to hear that the White House was going to go out there and the government was going to buy their crypto choice. That didn't happen. But look at this picture. And He's just off the screen, but just trust me, that's Brad Garlinghouse's hands there. Of course, you could see Brian Armstrong's bald head. We have Michael Saylor. You just have tons of crypto heavyweights meeting here at the White House, and this is going to continue to happen. And so this is important because when we hit, various roadblocks, think about in the past, if, we're having problems with the SEC or we're having problems getting debanked, it would be so helpful if you had a, quarterly or biannual meeting at the White House to be able to talk to the president, talk to the crypto czar and say, these are the struggles we're running into. These are the problems we need to get solved. And you could get onto that quickly. That's what's going to happen here. This is going to be a continuous thing. And I think it's really important for this market to recognize that. This is an entirely new environment that's going to be friendly for crypto companies, for assets, for entrepreneurs. We see the Wolf of Wall Street, great synopsis of what's happening right now. And this is going to reflect in asset values before too long. He says, look, just yesterday, Trump signed an executive order establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve and a digital asset stockpile. And I think the purpose for moving these two things to the side is this. If we got Bitcoin, we're not selling it. We're not going to trade it. We're not doing anything. We're going to throw it in the stockpile. And I think that's appropriate for where we find ourselves right now. But that, digital asset stockpile, the reason you put that to the side is because that can be rebalanced. That can be traded. You can swap different coins and move that around in a sort of active management way. And they've told us, what is their focus? What are the coins, at least right now, they want in that stockpile? Solana, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano. That's going to make a big part of that portfolio. This could be huge. We see Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent went on CNBC to discuss ways for the U.S. to buy Bitcoin. So over the long term, I do expect they will start buying cryptocurrencies, just not right now. And you don't want that kind of attention. You don't want the people that aren't in crypto thinking, well, our nation is $6 trillion in debt and we're going to be spending money on magical internet money. That would not be a good look. We don't want that out the gates. Sounds good in the short term, but it would bring a lot of bad press to crypto, where the way they are approaching this, it ain't going to be. This is going to be only positive. Today, David Sachs, the AI and crypto czar, is holding a crypto summit at the White House with Trump himself speaking. And on top of that, that ain't all. What we've seen, the SEC, they're erasing Gensler anti-crypto policies. Their approach here to give guidance. Hopefully we get laws from Congress, of course, that should go through. But until then, they're going to give market guidance, help people. Some people are securities. How are they going to register? They're going to have clear pathways. These regulatory agencies are going to be more helpful than what we've seen in prior eras. Bitcoin advocates now hold key cabinet positions, and really crypto advocates in general. Almost everyone in this administration has ownership in cryptocurrencies. Legislation is coming. They're working hard on that. First, we're going to see stable coins, and then, you'll have ancillary bills that, discuss, what cryptos are securities, which are pure commodities, how do we know, all this kind of stuff. This is working quick, and we should see this year probably at least 2 crypto bills actually pass. That is absolutely wild. And then lastly, the U.S. has positioned itself as a global leader. But, the U.S. is a significant territory, and we went from hostile to the crypto industry to now supporting it, incentivizing people to go out there and build the future. And that's going to be wildly bullish for this whole space. We see as part of this, look what's happening. Kraken went from being sued to now they are getting ready to go public. First quarter 2026 amid a friendlier regulatory climate. So we're going to be able to invest in some of these crypto companies where before we could not, only if you were in private equity. The president's company here, its investment arm, WLFI, World Liberty Financial, they are reaffirming this partnership with SWE. They said, we're proud to support USA-based crypto innovators like SUI Network. As part of our strategic token reserve, we're backing top Web3 projects that align with our vision for a more open, transparent financial system. Excited to explore new opportunities together. SWE's going to shoot the lights out here as we continue through this growth phase of cryptocurrencies. Again, we see David Sachs. Trump mentioned XRP and Solana because they were top 5 picks. So that's what he's saying. And people are saying, well, why mention it again? The stockpile, they're not going out and buying assets. Well, I think exactly that. You're going to have a rebalancing and an active management of that portfolio. And they are going to manage it and weight it with Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and Cardano. This is not something we should ignore here. It could be absolutely bullish in the long term. Another post from Wolf of Wall Street saying the Office of Controller of the Currency, the OCC, just reaffirmed that crypto activities are fully permissible in the U.S. federal banking system. The green light is getting brighter. You know, that's the other thing. People act like, oh, well, if you were in Bitcoin, you were fine before. Oh, no, you weren't. Maybe the SEC wasn't going to sue you, but you were getting debanked, you were getting harassed, you were not safe. This is big for everyone from the top down, from Bitcoin all the way down to the lowest coin there is. Let me know down below what you think. And as always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Inc.
Never sell your Bitcoin. That's a little phrase that they have. I don't know if that's right or not. Who the hell knows, right?